How are you? It's just after 6 p.m. I'm on Rock Lake. Just put in at the Rock Lake access point.
My journey would begin at the Rock Lake access point south of Highway 60, where I paddled south through Rock Lake past Penn Falls Dam into Penn Lake, where I would spend the first night on its eastern shore. Day two would take me up the Gallipo River past some gorgeous drops in the river, across a lengthy portage into the Gallipo Lakes of Welcome, Harry, and Rents Lakes, known for their native brook trout population. Wind and weather would try to get the better of me as I tackled another long portage to reach the western end of Lake Louisa, where I spent a windy second night. A frosty paddle the next day would take me to the 3 kilometer carry back into Rock Lake to spend more time paddling beneath the stunning cliffs of Pictograph Bay.
Left work and tried to hustle up here. It's Friday, early May, and it's cold and gusty. And I'm heading in alone on a 3-day solo trip doing the Welcome Lake Loop. It's a loop I did in 2020, so I guess 6 years ago. And on that trip, it was right just around the corner from here that I realized that my phone completely got fried. Don't know what it was. Went around this bend, took some photos of the pictographs on the cliff face there on Rock Lake, and got to the portage to head into Penn Lake and try to take another photograph. And the phone was dead. I knew something was up. It felt really hot in my pocket. I don't know what happened. Just the battery fried it. Maybe I banged it on something. I don't know. So that was the start of the trip, and had a really good trip. Really scenic part of the park. And I don't have any photos from it. So I normally don't like to repeat the routes that I've been on before, but it was really nice, and I wanted some photos. Now this is the first time I've ever tried to take a camera and film myself on a canoe trip. Testing, 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 seeing what this looks like, and we'll stop. I write a canoe blog, kind of for fun. Oops. Just ran over a birch tree. Yeah, so I'm hugging the shoreline here because it is gusty, and this is not too far from the put in. There's lots of cottages here that apparently they don't own the land, but they lease it, I suppose, from the park. Not sure exactly how that works, but yeah. So I'm going to try to bust a move because I'm staying on Penn tonight, and I want to get there, find a decent campsite. The parking lot was extremely full. I think I got the very last parking spot. It's what I get for putting in so late, but I'm way back in the bush, kind of not even sure it was a parking spot. That's how busy it is. Haven't even been on the water half an hour. I've passed 4 parties, maybe 8 canoes. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those weekends. And as you can hear, there's a motorboat. So, all right, we'll check in later. I'm gonna go check out the pictographs first, and we'll see you there.
Monday morning comes in glory, restless skies and afternoons. Winter comes without a warning. Sun is coming quick, I must be going soon. In the meadow they are laughing, watching land fade into sky. And the people here are thankful that the shore is near, and happy with all that it provides. Hear the joyful ring that the fishing trawlers bring, know that they are happy for a while. With a smile, with a smile.
Okay, I'm making it to the end of Rock Lake at the south and coming up to Penn Falls. Portage in here somewhere. You can see the bottom of the falls there, and it's starting to get a little late in the day. Sun's low in the sky. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I gotta get on this portage and find an empty site on Penn. I'd like to get as far south on Penn as I can, shorten my day tomorrow. But from what that parking lot looks like, it may be tough finding an empty site. A nice one anyway. I may have to take whatever I see. So, okay, let's get this portage done.
With a smile, how am I going?
Had to put in to Penn Lake. Got the dock in there for when the water's lower. And going back for my second load. Just followed up the Penn Falls. It was a bit of a steep little portage, a little over 300 meters. You can hear the falls down there. I'm gonna go down and check it out. You have to make a bit of a bushwhack to it, but I'm feeling a little rushed. I'm racing against time here. It's 10 past 7, just finished the first load. Want to get these shots in, but also don't want to be scrambling around in the dark looking for a campsite because it's really booked out. Seen all kinds of people already. Only been on the trip a little over an hour. See, the water was really high this spring. Yeah, there it is. Gotta watch my footing here. Yeah, it's nice. Heading back for the canoe. All right. Yeah, it's tough when it's you get off work and it's almost 3 and it's a 2.5 hour drive, and you're rushing to get in. Such is the plight of a weekend warrior. Still like doing it though. Once I get in and get settled, it's always nice. So not very nice rushing, but you know what? I found it always works out. Nice thing about Algonquin portages is that whenever parts are a little rough going, they build boardwalks. It's a nice luxury actually. You get this a lot more remote places that I go to sometimes up north. But to be honest, when it's presented, I'm not gonna complain. One thing about these boardwalks I'm always a little worried about is breaking them. They get pretty worn out over time. You can see that one there is broken, and do not want to be the fella that falls through that and potentially injure themselves. Okay, you can see sun is low, very low through the trees. Still early May. Not a lot of buds on trees up here yet. And temperature is dropping. That's going to be cozy by the fire tonight.
With a smile, with a smile, with a smile. 6 a.m. I get up again. The sun is barely on the rise. Another day to work away, another day to waste my mind.
Right. On Penn Lake, and there's a site right across from Portage, and it is taken. As are probably a number of the sites will be taken here. So I got to get to something that's free. I'm thinking I'm going to try to hop on the first thing that I see. Okay, let's see what I can find.
Through the grind of every hour, precious days and dreams gone sour, we give away the light of day to buy the things we need. When tomorrow...
Well, it's the first available site I've seen. Doesn't look great. But sometimes these are little gems. They don't look wonderful from the water, but when you actually get up inside, they're kind of nice. It's pretty steep up to the top, but nice kind of rocky little beach here. Let's see what this is. I think no matter what, I'm going to take it. It looks kind of dark, but you know what? It's almost 8 o'clock. And the sun is dipping over the trees over there, so I better grab it. All right, just arrived. This is the view from my beach. Just beat another couple of canoes coming in there. That's the sun going down. It's exactly 8 o'clock. I got to get up, get ready, and get a fire going. Temperature's only about, I'd say 6-7 degrees right now. Did I just say 6-7? I apologize profusely. Morning. It's about 6 a.m. and it's cold. Yeah, I went down to about 0 or maybe slightly below. I brought my water filter into my sleeping bag with me because if it freezes, it breaks. Yeah, I couldn't do any filming last night. By the time I got to camp, it was about 8. The sun was just going down over the, well, it had gone down over the horizon on the opposite side of the lake, and by the time I got my hammock up and the food out and set up next to the fire pit, it was dark. So I was kind of rushing to get all that done before the dark, and yeah, that's why I couldn't get any filming done. So yeah, it's a little chilly. I slept well. I have I don't know if it's a winter bag, I guess a 3-season bag that's rated to -8, but that's never right. So I put a summer down bag inside the the 3-season bag, and I was toasty. It was nice. Yeah, I had a good night's sleep. Feel good this morning, and I want to get a fire going. It's chilly. So yeah, it's not a bad site. Didn't look great from the water. I think there's supposed to be a beach down there, but the water's a little high. Got my hammock set up over there in the trees. Lots of wood that was here. I brought a couple pieces up. That top piece, it was a piece of standing dead wood. It burned nicely last night. Some people, I guess, from last year left some fire starter there, some smaller stuff. Nice fire pit. Suppose you're admiring my wonderful harness on my small little weekend barrel there. Yeah, that's a do-it-yourselfer, as you can tell. You probably figured that out on your own now, didn't you? Yeah, I got my stuff drying over here. Yeah, not a bad site at all. It's a bit of a steep walk down to the beachy area there. Nice big tent pad over there. There's the Red Rocket. And let's go take a look at the lake this morning. Supposed to get gusts of wind all day today. And when you got a little bit of wind like this at 6 a.m., you know you're in for a little bit later, I suppose. And looking forward to it. It's going to be a great day going up the Gallipo River. It's a nice lake.
So bright, I see you in shadows, painted in the night. The flames will seem lower when the darkness turns to light. And as I see your shadow, where once I saw the light, caverns of the soul are so hard to see. Matters of the truth are buried deep beneath all things that are spoken in the quiet mysteries, in the quiet contemplation of what may someday be. And the firelight shows you shadows, daylight never sees. Firelight is a dancer, unveiling mystery. Darker, the crevice like a pond, holding all the blackness, shedding waters on the subtleties of feeling that change from day to day. And as I see your shadow with a fire like that way, smoke comes arising, it hangs in the air. I watch as the firelight soon disappears, and the moon is a yellow that just can't be described. And the smoke carves a pathway, it fades into the sky, and the firelight shows you shadows daylight never sees. Firelight is a dancer, unveiling mystery.
Arguably the worst part of the day. So socks that are still slightly damp from stepping in the water yesterday. nice toasty nighttime socks come off that are beautifully dry into the damp stuff, and boots that are still wet. Boots never dry in one night, especially when you arrive after dark. There's no sun on them. So what I do here is ticks are bad now, apparently, even up here in Algonquin. More and more reports of ticks, so I tuck my pants into my socks so those little critters can't get up and at me from below. Now it's still pretty cold out, but apparently there's already been tick reports as of 2 weeks ago, and it's only the, what's today's date? May 9th. So into the second week of May, and we've had a cold spring so far. And there's ticks out in Algonquin, apparently. What I'm doing here is putting on neoprene socks. I think I have a sneaky suspicion that on this trip before I'm going to be wading for a little bit up the Gallipo. I didn't bring my hip waders because they're I don't know, they're just heavy and take up a lot of space, and so it's going to get chilly. Now I got all those portages ahead of me, so I definitely will work off the chill, but it's hard when your feet are wet constantly. So with these, I find even with the socks underneath, they keep your feet quite a bit warmer. They're going to get wet, but it acts just like, I suppose, a wetsuit does. The water gets inside, but the neoprene traps the heat of your body in with the water. And I've been wearing them for years, and in the shoulder seasons like this, oops, that was the sock. They are a godsend. I like the Keens. They're good. I do a lot of canoe tripping, and I usually blow through like pretty much a pair almost every season. This is my second season with these, and they're still in good shape. You want to buy a good pair, because what I find is all the portaging, and especially if you're wading rocky rivers and so on, your feet are constantly always doing this, and the glue from the sole to the rest of the boot inevitably wears down and comes apart. So better to splurge on a bit of a brand name, a good name that you know. I like the Keens. They've done me right so far. Okay.
A.m. I get up again. The sun is barely on the rise. Another day to work away, another day to waste my mind through the grind of every hour. Precious days and dreams gone sour. We give away the light of day to buy the things we need.
10 after 8, and I'd say that wind is already starting to come up. So it's supposed to be a southwest wind today, getting to be a high of 16, which is nice if it stays sunny. Expecting rain tonight, but hopefully I'll get to my site with the tarp up. 30-kilometer-hour gusts apparently, so that's going to be in my face since I'm heading south and then west. So let's see how that goes.
In the midst of all the gray you feel, and I promise you that your life, you're just not living.
Okay, 8:30 in the morning, and there's whitecaps on the lake, and I'm against it. So it looks like I'm going to be in for it today, heading in this direction. I don't even know if you can hear me because it's pretty windy. I got a line in the water, I'm trolling, heading towards the Gallipo River at the south end of Penn Lake. And yeah, I'm going to spend a few calories today.
Another day, I'm losing my mind.
Okay, so coming up to the mouth of Calipo. It has been a slog, at least twice as long as what it would normally take me. I'm having to tackle. The wind's died down now, which is why I can record a little bit here. But oh, good lord, it was tough. I haven't got off Penn Lake. 2 really long portages today, so hopefully I'll have enough oomph to make it to Louisa and get set up.
Again it goes. Just another day and wasting my time. On and on and on again it goes. Just another day I'm losing my mind. Just another day I'm wasting my time. On and on and on again it goes. Just another day I'm losing my mind. 6 a.m. get up again. The sun is barely on the rise. Another day to work away. Another day to waste my mind through the grind of every hour. Precious days and dreams gone sour. We give away the light of day to buy the things we need. Oh, the whistle blows and leaves me cold. The faces turn down to the floor. Dirty hands and dirty clothes. And on again it goes. Just another day losing my time. On and on again it goes. Just another day I'm wasting my mind.
All right, coming up to my portage, as you can see. And I don't know if there's going to be any trout in here. There sure are tons of suckers. I'm looking down. There's just like an endless stream of them. And they're just swimming up and down the river. This is very pretty. Oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, if I recall, this is a short portage, under 200 meters, but I think it's pretty much straight up if I remember. It goes up past the falls. So I arrived at the end of the portage up to Calipo River past the falls. Not sure what those falls are called. I'm going to look at my map there. Yeah, it's a little longer than I remembered. Thought it was just a little over 100, but it's actually about 300 according to the sign. But wow, what a fantastic falls. Okay, I'm gonna walk back down the portage trail here and go for my second load, but I'll show you the falls here. Absolutely stunning. So the Calipo really drops in elevation there. You saw those falls. Just a good 15-20 foot drop at the top there, and then it continues. And there's another big one down there. Suppose I could bushwhack down there, but it's quite a scramble, and I don't want to A, risk getting injured, and B, I got to get moving. I got a long way to go today. It's already 10 o'clock. I've been taking my time, and that wind set me back a little bit. But if you look, you can see it goes through a canyon and continues to drop. So it's quite a considerable drop between Welcome and Penn Lake here. All right, let's go get the canoe. Nice view here. Drops into a pool before it drops again. wonder if there's brookies down in there.
Monday morning comes in glory, restless skies and afternoons. Winter comes without a warning. Sun is coming quick, I must be going soon. In the meadow they are laughing, watching land fade into sky. And the people here are thankful that the shore is near and happy with let it roll by.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I think I took the wrong way. I was trying to avoid a beaver dam and thought I would do the shortcut. No such thing as shortcutting in canoe tripping. Because now I'm in about 4 inches of water, fighting a current, the bottom of the river, and the wind. It ain't fun. And I feel I'm going to get up here and I'm going to get bogged down in the bog and I can't go any further. I got to come back. But in for a penny, in for a pound. So I had to wade through some grassy bog there. And I got a sweat on now. But I found the deep channel. Yep, I should have gone the long way around. Wasn't too bad though. Might have worked out to keep at the same time in the end, but definitely spent more calories doing it the way I did. There's the portage up ahead. Looks like there's a canoe there. So someone's on it. I wonder if they're going in or coming out. It's really starting to warm up. I need to take this jacket off. I am starting to get a sweat on. And 2,300 meters coming up. I bet you my sweat's gonna increase. Yeah, looks like they're going. Yeah, the way that stuff's been pulled up there, I think they're heading in the same direction I am. Alright, going back to the middle of the 2,300 meter portage. And man, this one feels long. Yeah, I'm roughly getting back to the halfway point here. I know, because the pond is about halfway. God, that felt like it didn't end. Got the pack already at the put in. I just got to go get the canoe and the barrel. It's crazy windy on Welcome Lake. I'm not sure if I'm going to be windbound for the rest of the day. You see my canoe in the distance here? There's my canoe leaning up. The wind hasn't blown it over, which is a good thing. All right. Let's hope these cramps don't get too bad. I don't have my water with me, and I'm probably about 1,200 meters from it, but I got the barrel with me. Could try to pop something in there that might replenish a few electric lights. Maybe I'll do that right now.
Early morning sunrise, it seems to set me free. Leaves fall into nowhere as I hurry through another year to be. Where I'll be landing, only God really knows. And my friends, they couldn't have been kinder. But right now I know it's time that I must go. Nothing.
What a day. I wasn't really able to film anymore after the last thing I filmed was the big portage from Gallipo River up to Welcome Lake. So I'm now on Louisa, Lake Louisa, and it's been eventful. So I arrived at Welcome. The wind was just howling on Welcome Lake, and it's basically round, and the portage is at the direct east end of the lake, and originally I planned to paddle around the lake a little bit and fish for some brook trout, but I was getting swamped paddling from the put-in to the Gallipo River. There's a beach right next to the Gallipo River, so it was getting crazy, and the wind was pushing me into that shore, and I wasn't able to make it around to the Gallipo to get in, the area into Harry Lake. So I got slammed up against the beach there, and I just waited along the shoreline because it was super shallow there till I could pull up on a spot and filter more water and maybe think about getting a bite to eat. Just as I arrived, a gale came in. It was I could see the black clouds in the distance, but I thought it might just be spitting, but the wind even picked up more. There's no way I was even getting off that beach. So I didn't really have time to eat. There's no way I could have even probably lit my stove because it was just all open. There was no trees, and so I just had a piece of naan bread and some granola, and filtered more water, and then I waded into the mouth of the Gallipo and paddled down to the Gallipo. And once I got inside, it wasn't too bad, but it started raining on and off, so I put the cameras away, not wanting to get them wet. And then I got to Harry Lake and trolled across Harry Lake. But again, as soon as I hit the bigger open water, the wind was pushing me, and I was a solo paddler with a single blade. I was fighting the wind pretty much the whole time, just to keep the boat straight. There was another canoe that was sort of following me. They passed me on Harry because they had mine's 15 foot, theirs is 16. They had two paddlers, and I caught up to them on the portage out of Rents into Frank Lake, and I just sort of gave up on fishing because it was just way too windy, and with the rain going on and off. And a couple of nice guys, some hardcore canoe trippers, shared a couple of stories about Wabakimi and a few other places that we've been to, both have been to. They end up staying on Frank Lake, and then I end up doing the long portage again from Frank and Florence are connected from Florence into Louisa, which is a little over 1,700. I hadn't really eaten enough all day, and I kept taking the gummies, but I was getting cramps all day in my thighs. Started on the long portage into Welcome, and then they were happening again. So I had to keep stopping and taking electrolytes. It's okay now. I arrived at Welcome. It was about 5:30. Not Welcome, sorry, Louisa. And I look up, and the sky had turned black, and I could hear thunderclaps in the distance. Like, oh God, and I knew it was heading my way, so I hightailed it as fast as I could to the first site on the point where that little back bay meets the main part of the lake, the far west end of the lake. And as soon as I arrived at camp, the storm hit, and it was crazy. I scrambled, I got this tarp up, I got a little bit wet, but thank God I got it up before anything really crazy hit. But boy, did it hit. There must have been 8-9 thunderclaps directly right overhead. I could see the white lightning, zap, boom, zap, boom. I pulled my canoe up and turned it over. The wind was so crazy, it flipped the canoe right over. The pegs kept coming out of the back of the tarp, so I took rocks from the fire pit and threw it on the bottom of the tarp. The tarp held in the end and kept everything dry. There was no time to get my hammock up or anything. That lasted maybe a good half hour. And yeah, so it passed, and I see the sun over there. But I just went down to get water, to filter more water, and I could look back and there's more black clouds coming in. So I think I'm in for it for the night. Got the hammock up, starved. I have not eaten, and my feet are soaking wet. So I'm not going to bother with the fire because everything's soaked. I'm just going to get the stove lit, make some noodles, and I still have some more steak from last night. I'll have to fry it on the frying pan rather than over an open fire, but I'd eat anything right now. I'm so hungry. With no lunch and just munching on granola and gummies all day, I think I could eat a moose. Anyway, I'm glad I'm safe. I'm glad I got here just before and got off the water before the lightning went nuts. It was just in the nick of time. That's canoe tripping for you. It's about 6:30. Yeah, I woke up about 5:30. I've already packed up my hammock. Didn't sleep great. I'm on a point, and the wind just blew, howled all night. Pulled my tarp down really tight to stop the fluttering of the tarp when the wind was blowing. But it was howling, like you could hear it through the guy lines, and it was actually shaking, moving me around a little bit. It's calmed down. When the sun came up, it calmed down a little bit, so I was a little concerned that it would be too windy to paddle, but it looks like I can get out of here pretty soon. Yeah, I didn't get back to you last night because right after I signed off, I started to make dinner, and the camp stove is not working. First trip of the year, worked fine at the end of last year. I didn't test it at the start of this trip. I don't know what happened. I could get a flame out of it, but it wouldn't turn up. It was super, super small. I kept fluttering. At first I thought it was because of the wind, but it wasn't. I realized it was just faulty. So everything was soaked from the rain. So I luckily on the last portage I found a nice piece of dry birch bark that I stuck in my pocket. I tend to do that if I think it's going to rain. And I was able to shave off some wood to get the drier bits underneath, and there's lots of logs lying around, so I was like huge logs that are rotted and just lying around, so I picked off the bottoms of those, the bark and stuff, and I ended up getting actually a really good fire going. But by the time I did that, made dinner, it was dark again, so couldn't get back to you. Oh, I think it's starting to rain right now. Okay, it's just sprinkling. Anyway, it's nice to have a fire going, and I'm going to get some eggs and non-wraps in my belly, and I'm going to hit the water and go. I just had breakfast. Let's get the lay of the land of this site. So I'm on the far western end of Lake Louisa. I came out from the portage from the Gallipo River system, and it was the first sight because there was imminent thunderstorming crashing upon me. So had to get quickly set up. Got this ridgeline going for the tarp, and got it up just in the nick of time. The wind was blowing in from behind the tarp there, so I was nice and protected and kept everything dry. But boy, that tarp was like right down crashing around me because it was so strong, the wind. It's a beautiful site. It's the second time I've actually stayed here. In 2020 when I was doing this same route, I had wind issues as well, except it was in my face this time, at that time rather, and I could only make it to this point, and then I was windbound. So I set up my hammock. I already packed it up, but I set up my hammock back in that little grove there. There's all kinds of space, huge boulders, trees. It's a bit of a hike down to the water, and the one thing that this site, I noticed it again this time, and it got me last time. I slipped into the lake. The rocks are really slippery, and it's got a nice rocky front porch, but it doesn't slope into the lake nicely, so if anyone's planning to stay here, be careful. Yeah, it's a good site. I recommend it, but in better weather. Right now, I can see my breath. I'm cold. I just let the fire die out, and I gotta get on the road. Yeah, it's a cold and windy and probably soon to be rainy day here on Louisa. Boat's ready to go. Lake is actually the calmest it's been all morning. Good time to leave. A beautiful lake. Well, I got about an hour and a bit of paddling to go to get to the portage. Maybe about an hour with this tailwind behind me, which is one blessing. And then probably 2 hours to tackle a 3,000 meter. At least 2, because I'll be double tripping. And maybe another hour back to the car, so hopefully at the Rock Lake put in noon or shortly after. All right, I don't know how much filming I'm gonna do. I was planning to fish, but it's so cold. My feet are freezing. I just want to get back. It's been one of those trips where it's great to get out, but sometimes the elements get the better of you. And that's what happened on this trip. No regrets. You may sound like I have some, but no, I'm glad I came. It's all character building, and it's all part of canoe tripping, especially in the shoulder seasons. Off we go.
So we said at the time, we stood alone watching the world go by, young enough to fall, but old enough to fly. We stood alone watching the world go by. Snow falls, kept my friends close to me, and we all laughed and wondered about the way things were gonna be.
Now there's a canoe there, the arrow on the side pointing to this one. And I do believe this was the one I took last time.
I can remember.
So I'm on a logging road. It's on the portage, about 150 meters in from the lake. There were 2 takeouts to the lake, and I got to the one that was signed, but there was an arrow pointing to the left, like it was suggesting that people go to the other takeout that was left of it. So I went over to the left side. There's a cached fishing boat there, and I could see a trail, but it's obviously adding about 150 meters to this already long portage, because as you can see right there, oops, I just passed it, was where I should have come out had I stayed at the one that had the sign. And then This one is on the other side of the river. But on the bright side, I get to peek at the river. Alright, so here's the logging road bridge rather. And that is very nice. Look at that. God, these rivers are gorgeous. And on the other side, there's where it comes out of the lake. And that's Louisa Lake there. Going back for my second load on a 3,000 meter portage from Lake Louisa to Rock Lake, and just took my first load about a third of the way there, and a very pretty walk in the woods actually. It's very, very nice. The portage isn't bad at all. Swanky boardwalks like this make it much easier. Okay, I see a moose up in the forest. There's a cow moose up there. I don't know if you can see that up above there. I just saw it move. There's a cow moose right above. He just got wind of me. And she's staying still in the trees. I'm gonna see if I can get a better look, but I don't want to get too close. I don't know if the GoPro can pick it up, but it's right up in the trees at the top of this creek, and she's just standing staring at me. I'm not going to get any closer because she's obviously nervous, and oh, there, she's moving a little bit. Okay, she's moving around a bit. Well, that was very cool. I hadn't had any wildlife encounters at all. I saw a couple beavers and, some birds, of course. Lots of mergansers and ducks and that kind of stuff, but no large mammals. And that was a small cow moose. And as soon as I moved, she turned and hightailed it. So that was kind of cool. That made this whole walk worthwhile. Maybe it was a good thing I did the loop. Just found this on the portage here. Just found it, and I don't know what it is. It's something from the logging days. It's crushed underneath that thing. Can't lift it, but that's old, whatever it is.
How we helped each other through. Nothing could part us, so we said at the time. We stood alone, watching the world go by. Young enough to fall, but old enough to fly. We stood alone, watching the world go by. Watching the world go by. We stood alone, watching the world go by. And some friends said they'd be painters, and some would go with lines. But I said I would never know, but I know I'll take my time. And some did what they dreamed of. There were those that lost their way. There were those that didn't make it. They got left in yesterday. Now I work down in the factory. I work down by the bay with that poet and that painter, all who've come my way. Nothing could part us, so we said at the time. We stood alone, watching the world go by. Young enough to fall, but old enough to fly. We stood alone, watching the world go by. watching the world go by. We stood alone, watching the world go by, watching the world go by. We stood alone, watching the world go by.
All right. Well, it's been eventful. The weather did not cooperate. Fighting the wind and trying to get to my destinations really limited my fishing time. Just simply didn't really have time to fish. And by the time I woke up this morning on Lake Louisa, it was freezing and just above zero. In fact, on the portage it was raining, and bits of hail and snow came down for a moment or two. So it's one of those trips where I sort of bailed on the idea of getting some fish, and wanted to get out early because the weather's just been weird. We're having intermittent periods of sun and then it'll pour. I'm looking up ahead. It's sunny right now. You see, oh, and it's gusty. Just see that gust there? Looking up ahead, there's it's pelting up there, down there. Dark clouds. So yeah, one of these trips where at the moment you're probably thinking, why did I come? But then when later on you finish the trip, you're thinking, I'm glad I went. If you're watching and you lasted this long, thanks for watching.